I'll throw it to you. We've got ostrich updates. One thing I noticed since I left a couple weeks ago and then came back is that the RCMP have moved their drone HQ. It used to be up the road at, the little fire station, but, after a fire in the bales that one night, they moved it to an open field up the road, and I went up the hill and took some footage of that, if we want to show it. So this is them. They've got quite the operation. And these drones, Chris, as you'll attest to, they fly night and day, the RCMP drones. And as I said yesterday on our town hall that we did for our Producers Club folks, it can't be good for the birds. It's stressful for the farmers, but it can't be good for the livestock either. There's quite a police presence all over the place here.
Yeah, did you throw it to me or did you go to Chris there?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, take it away, and we can all just jump in.
I was reading something I want to mention in a second here. But you're right. And in addition to what you're talking about with the drones, they are flying night and day over the farmhouse, which is away from the herd. They're giving no privacy to them at all. They're flying so low. It's stressing out the family, of course. And again, this is all happening during a stay order, when nothing is supposed to be happening. There is no call happening. It's all paused while we wait for the Supreme Court to decide on whether or not the farm is able to pursue a case in the Supreme Court. Yet almost in like the last 3 days or so, it's like the RCMP has upped their drone game again. There was a minor medical sort of incident that happened here. It was an elderly supporter who's always here, wasn't feeling very good. The supporters addressed it very fast. The police on site were finally doing something useful, and they came and helped, and people gave them a round of applause and stuff. And then she ended up getting checked out with the paramedics and is already back. But where I'm getting at is during that process when the cops were coming to help, which was great, one of the cop grabbed like a video sort of, the long scope that they use. So he ran back and got that and started looking at the tent. And one of the supporters here is like, yeah, that's not going to save her life. Could you please put that down? So, I'm just shocked at how much resources are being used for this operation on the taxpayer dime. The fact that this even started at all when they knew, the CFIA knew that the farm's lawyer, Omar Sheikh, was going to be pursuing an emergency stay. The fact that they descended on here to try to beat him in doing so is just such another injustice layered upon injustices.
I want to bring Chris Dacey into this because, let's just show Chris's video. And he notes out just the vast police resources being deployed to the farm here. And I feel like there are other things to do in British Columbia other than worry about what's happening at this ostrich farm. But again, the police are here at the behest of the CFIA. So we've got a video from Chris about the lunch break for the RCMP. Maybe we could show that. So Chris, you want to describe what's happening here? Yeah.
Yeah. So the RCMP, as you see, I mean, they're eating lunch here. They obviously have to eat. I'm not trying to make fun of them eating, but the important thing is that there's 2 12-hour shifts of RCMP here. And on shift change at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., you basically see like 30 plus vehicles roll in here. It's a good 60 officers. They have drone teams. I've seen canine teams. I can't begin to imagine what the total number is. There's also a staging post up the road with, command vehicles and different things. So these guys are not only working 12-hour shifts, they're actually 16 hours because they have a 2-hour commute each way. So huge overtime costs being incurred. I mean, all these officers that I imagine would probably rather be doing real police work somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've actually, myself and our helper here, Lyndon, we actually sort of remarked, like if you had a choice between policing the local dirtbags or the people like doing actual police work and or just hanging out at the ostrich farm, I suppose this is good work if you can get it, because this is real peaceful and there's not all that much exciting happening here as we I guess, to use lack of a better phrase, hold the line as we wait for the courts to decide if they're going to hear this. Kat, I'll just get your initial impressions about what's going on at the ostrich farm. We're 12 minutes in and I haven't let you have a word in edgewise, sorry.
Oh, thanks, Sheila. Well, I mean, to say the very least, it's extremely disturbing that the government has this kind of power to come, for example, to your private property to surveil you. I don't know how much people know. I come from a communist country. I come from Soviet Union. There is no freedoms there. There's no rights there. There's no property rights there either. When it was still the Soviet Union. So when I see this kind of stuff, obviously it's extremely disturbing. It baffles me that the procedure is so rigid. If the birds are now healthy, which is what I understand, and if there is some sort of immunity amongst the birds, because I think there were at some point they had something, but now they seem to be doing really well. So the fact that they can just blanketly say that's it, call them, no revisiting, no evaluating, no case by case basis, nothing like that, that is obviously dystopian. It's disturbing. And to know that the government has this kind of power just to come into your property, to disperse so many resources from the police to the property, to watch, to surveil, like you just said, you know, to say the very least, is disturbing. And I wish that more people understand just how egregious this actually is, because I feel like a lot of people in Canada who don't spend, you know, too much time online, like perhaps, you know, all the people on the panel here do, that they don't really understand the severity of what's happening on this farm. And, you know, I just hope that at some point we wake up and realize that the government has way too much power if they can come and do this kind of thing on your private property and just basically say, well, your business, it's got to go. Your business can't survive. The birds got to go just because, well, I don't know, one bird had a flu, or what was it?
Yeah. Yeah. The sniffles, as Ezra calls it.
Yeah,
it reminds me right down to the security fencing and then the black wrap around it of what the RCMP were asked to do to Grace Life Church at the hands of the health authorities in Alberta under the direction of Jason Kenney. And I mean, this is just their thing. They don't want you to see what they're doing behind that security fence. But the fact that the security fence is up is indicative of the tyranny here. And, you know, like I've done it as a farmer, I'm of course obviously concerned about farmers' rights and property rights and what the government can do to you in the name of public health and food security. But I've done a real deep dive over the last 3 days into why ostriches specifically are used in medical research. And it's because of their robust immune systems. And I've been communicating with the American Ostrich Institute, and they've been American Ostrich Association, pardon me. They're sharing some very interesting research about one of the ways that they are trying to combat avian flu in poultry, which ostriches are not. They're a different kind of bird. They're called a ratite. But they're actually trying to genetically engineer chickens to have the same sort of robust immune system that ostriches already have, to put an end to the spread of avian flu. And in the meantime, we're going to do away with ostriches who already have that exact immunity. It's the most bizarre thing ever. Drea, just to close up on this topic, because we want to move on to Antifa, tell us what's happening today and over the Thanksgiving weekend, because the clock is ticking on the courts, right?
Right. And I do want to rant about something quickly as well.
Please do.
Well, today, Sheila and I are waiting to see if we get any decision by 2 p.m. PST, because, of course, this decision is being made in Ottawa. So that's the time difference here from BC. So it should be that if we don't hear anything, the birds are safe for turkey, turkey long weekend for happy Thanksgiving. So I know they're preparing to have their Thanksgiving festivities, and I heard they're welcoming people to come join that as well. There's been some turkeys donated. If the birds are safe, I think Sheila and myself will relieve ourselves, go visit our family, manage something at home. I don't know. I think, Dacey, you're staying through Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think I'll hold out, particularly if you guys leave. I'll hold out a little bit and maybe make a decision early next week. I'll see how it goes. I'm kind of open-ended still.
Right, that's great. So we have eyes through Dacey Media there as well. And of course, I myself, maybe even Sheila too, we have a lot of information to get out too that I can do from
Yeah.
home as well. And then, of course, we will be back when the birds are at risk again.